I've got the latest on the government shutdown. Yeah, they're working a day the weekend. Well, so am I. I work every frickin' weekend. Who's the most hated man or woman in crypto? Put your answer in the comments down below and let's see if you come up with theirs. We're also going to talk XRP price, Zcash, altcoin dominance, along with...
I say lots of naughty things, so here's your warning.
Along with that little addition in the background. But if you look in the little mini cam in the corner, you see what I'm talking about. Yeah, girlfriend. Nice. Now, before we get into the crypto news, like the Senate working today, maybe they'll break the shutdown. You know the deal. Your comments come first. You, the viewer, matter most. Starting us off is Shane Wilkins, dropping support on the channel. Thank you so much, Shane, for everything. Says, thank you, Klaus, for I can't stomach all the stuff I can't stand to watch. I love this channel 7 days a week. Well, appreciate that. Now, be honest with me, everyone. Should we cover the Senate live today? There were over 23,000 of you that watched that live stream. Is it something you're interested in? Because if it is, we could fire it up today. It might suck because I do have a long run scheduled, but I think I could fit them both in. Let me know down below. Do we live stream the Senate today? And thank you, Shane, for your support. D.R. Henry Sr. says, good afternoon, Klaus. I enjoyed the live, sir. Much appreciated. That's right. I tried to expose you to the shenanigans and the skullduggery that is the United States government. Yeah, I'm thinking maybe we should do it live today. Sean Rand says, mighty content. A great move not to go public. They don't need to. Talking about Ripple. Ripple doesn't need to go public because A, they want to keep control for themselves, and B, they have plenty of money privately in order to keep going. I don't know where these people are coming from with the whole, oh, Ripple's gonna IPO. Because here's smoke. Ooh, XRP true value will be revealed at the IPO. No, XRP has nothing to do with the IPO, you tard cards. Bitcoin, 102,810. We are way too close to 100,000 for anyone to feel any comfort right now. ETH 3460, while XRP's at 227. BNB's at 984, and Zcash is at what? Almost 600. We're going to talk about Zcash because Zcash passed Stellar in market cap in this most recent rally. Fear and greed, we're at 24. Altcoin season, 31 out of 100. So not bad, but I think a lot of us would rather have juicier prices. We're going to talk about altcoin dominance here coming up very, very soon. In terms of inflows and outflows, ooh, it has not been good for this month. Volume for the crypto market is at 126 billion, so exchanges are still making money. Who is the most hated man or woman in crypto? What was your vote? Well, Charles Hoskinson. Every freaking few days, there is an article, there is something out there about this man. A lot of it isn't true. A good chunk is true. But I swear, this guy has more negative press than anyone else I've seen. The founder of Cardano, Charles Hoskinson, has been rumored to be leaving the projects, claiming that he moved on to only concentrate on Midnight, and they've been circulating around social media, but it's not accurate. Yeah, I'm telling you, remember there have now been 2 major stories about Charles misusing funds. Dude, this guy can't get out of his own way. Midnight, Cardano's privacy-focused sidechain project, makes up about 60% of his content. Oh, God. It should come as no surprise that Midnight has its own foundation, a strong marketing department, and actively pursues partnerships. Ooh. About 25% of his posts are solely about Cardano, including discussions about government. The remaining 15% connects the two. So basically what they're saying is, look, Charles is putting a lot more oomph into Midnight than he is into Cardano. But he's not leaving Cardano. He's just focusing on what he thinks can make the most money. Oh, Charles. I can't stand the guy personally. Altcoin volume hits 51%, but a rising BTC dominance means alts face this risk. Well, here's the problem we got, everyone. BTC has still got its dominance at 59.3%, with ETH at 12.1%. So, that being said, yeah, you can have some juicy volume for the alts. You can have altcoin season changing, but we really want the green prices. In a recent report, AMB Crypto reported how a rebound in demand for BTC could catch the bears unaware. Long-term holders were selling Bitcoin as shown by the increased long-term holder support spending in recent weeks. Yes, BTC continued to trade above 100,000. The convergence of rising network activity, strong miner participation, and the low MVRV meant Bitcoin could be forming a strong base. The only way Bitcoin and the alts makes a strong move up is if the government gets to work, and we're going to talk about that here coming up. In a post on X, analyst Martin observed that the altcoin volume was 51% of all trading volume. That's good, but again, you could have a shit ton of volume and it be what, everyone? A red day, and that's what we've seen throughout here. A lot of these red days, the volume was crazy, especially for the alts. So are we really celebrating shit like that? No, we celebrate price action. Now, Zcash is plummeting a little bit. Whoa. Who wrote this article? Zcash plunges 14%. Maybe the article should be Zcash up 51% in the freaking week. I hate how some of these players try to paint the negativity. You're telling me something rises this much. They were just under 400 and now they're at 600. They went over 700. Yeah, think about that. They went from 400 to 700 in 4.5 days. So now you're telling me a pullback of 14%? No. Crypto is about pumps and dumps, and Zcash is pumping. Zoom out, you can see they were quietly at 200 and made a move up. Looks very similar to the move ETH made, doesn't it? It does. Zcash's volume, $3.17 billion. And yes, they overtook Stellar for market cap. Now, the whole Zcash move highlights what? Money moving from one hot thing to the next. Remember, ETH was the hot thing, right? And then players rotated for that. Now look at Monero. Monero's making a move up 20%. Money rotates there. Other things seem a little bit stagnant. Doge has been very stagnant. H-bar has been very stagnant, only at 17 cents right now. So you could see money doesn't flow equally into all cryptos. It goes to where shit is hot. And that's what we talked about a couple days ago with the liquidity problem we have in crypto. We don't have unlimited liquidity. There's only so much. And that liquidity takes those profits and rolls it into the next. Now, there's players out there like Smoke that keep saying, oh, Ripple's going to IPO, but here's the problem. They don't need to IPO because they got plenty of money. But for some reason, these people keep coming up with fake articles with all this crap. Oh, SBI. You mean the same SBI that's pretty much funded by XRP? Come on now. Not funded by XRP, but they're so tied into XRP. It's just... frustrating, isn't it? Now let's get that update on the Senate. The government shutdown. Ooh, we are on day 40 of the shutdown. That is not good, everyone. The Senate will reconvene this afternoon for a rare Sunday session. That's right, they normally don't work on Sundays. The problem is what, though? We gotta see if they're even going to vote. There are no votes currently scheduled, and the Senate reconvenes at 1:30. I might be able to live stream that one. The weird thing about it is I do have a super long run that I got to do today. A few things around the house, but maybe I could squeeze in a little bit of Senate live. Senate Republicans will gather for a conference meeting before the chamber convenes at 1:30, with no votes currently scheduled. Senate Majority Leader John Thune told reporters that the chamber will continue meeting until the government reopens. Senators are working on finalizing the text of the package of 3 long-term appropriation bills that would end the impasse. Basically, what they're doing right now is trying to figure out, okay, we need to fund the government, but we don't want to fund it for so long that we keep our out-of-control spending too high. We want to fund it just enough to get us back to the table to debate. But both sides still appear to be far apart. On Friday, Democrats offered to reopen the government in exchange for a 1-year extension of health care tax credits. The reason the Democrats want the 1-year extension is because that covers them through what, everyone? Midterms, which means what? They could then use that as a voting plea. They could say, hey, guess what? For all you people that don't deserve health insurance benefits, guess what? For all you people that are subsidized by extremely expensive benefits, we want your vote. So if you want to keep your insurance, you have to vote Democratic. That's why they're doing that. But we got to see what happens. I'll let you know if we're going to live stream it today, but hit that notification bell so you don't miss out in case I do stream the event. BTC's at 103,000 right now. way too close to this 100,000 mark. We've seen in this last week here a couple dipperonis below the 100,000 mark. Now, granted, it did bounce back up from that, but you can see in this last week, the highs are a little bit less. Zoom out a little bit more and you're like, oh, yeah, I see exactly what you're talking about. This is scary with BTC around 100,000 because that's a big mental number right there, right? It's like XRP at $2. That is a big mental number. You'd rather be above $2 than below. Shit, we'd all rather be above $3 than below. But right now, BTC's volume, pretty crazy. $50 billion essentially in the last 24 hours, but way too close to 100,000 in order for people to feel relief. Now, XRP's volume, down a little. It's the weekend, 2.5 billion. Price action is getting support right around that 225 mark. You can see the candlestick right here with a low at 224. This candlestick right here, low 224. XRP has been bouncing up from that. We did have a little bit of super cheap sale action here about a week ago, but we're a little bit further away from that as at least the Senate and the Democrats are talking now. But guess what? We need more than talk in order to make things happen. Ooh, and all the travel concerns, have you seen that? They're only at a 4% flight shutdown rate, and they're going to be cranking that bad boy up to 10% by the end of the week. So buckle up, everyone, because if we don't get juicy action today or Monday, well, guess what? Probably going to have an XRP ETF. That's the good news. The bad news is there's going to be more pain felt on the government shutdown pain train. And John Thune basically said, look, we're not caving in, giving a 1-year continuing resolution. While the Democrats said, well, we'll gladly vote yes if you give us the 1 year. Both sides are way too far apart, and that's putting pressure on XRP, BTC, the alts, and the entire crypto market. So what's going to make XRP roar? We can't roar until the government reopens. Short range, yes, and long range, fun. I wonder what I'm going to need these for. Could it be some Pop-Tart demolition video that I'm going to be working on the script here soon? You've been waiting, and I'm going to deliver. And what's the best sound in the world? Yeah, baby. Love it. Now, we are going to see what happens with the government today. They're meeting, but I mean, honestly, both sides are super far apart. And yes, the airline industry is putting massive pressure on the Democrats to open. Why? Because it's hurting their money coming in. What other industries now are going to start lobbying the government to open up, right? I mean, we know hospitality is going to get hit. There's going to be a whole bunch of things get hit. In fact, people are panicking right now that Thanksgiving travel might be like a massive disruptive mess. The Thanksgiving travel season actually starts the Friday, the week before Thanksgiving. We're not far away from that. We're less than 2 weeks away from that. And if this continues, remember, when the government shutdown ends, it's not like all of a sudden everyone comes back to work. It takes time, right? The unions have talked about, it's going to take a few days once the shutdown ends to get their workers back in. So even if the government does get stuff done before Thanksgiving, there's still a bit of a lag effect, which can severely hamper things. Now, altcoin dominance with trading, it's because the alts have been melting faces. Hold on. Let me do my YouTuber cringe thing. Melting faces, because they're melting faces in the wrong direction. So volume is freakishly high because players have been selling that action and the prices are down. So I don't want that. I want prices to go up. Zcash is going up, but the market plays the pumperonis and dumperonis. That's why I think you got to be diversified out there because certain things are going to pop and certain things are not. And what have we learned, everyone? Yes, money rotates from crypto to crypto to crypto in the market. We're not going to see a complete rising tide until we get regs. True. And we're not going to get that until the government shutdown ends. True. So, right now, the market is going to jump from here to there, to there, to there, chasing profits. Choo-choo what? Well, the sign behind me says it. Choo-choo bitches.